welcome to My Brother, and Me, an advice show for the modern era. I'm your oldest brother, Justin McElroy.
I'm your middlest brother, Travis McElroy.
And I'm sweet, sensual Valentine's Day brother. Not brother, but sensual gentleman, Griffin McElroy, the youngest brother, your brother.
Wait, are you their sensual brother?
I've got 2 Ferrero Rochers, and I've put them in a suggestive, sensual position. My nipples.
Oh.
I figure, listen, guys, pause the show. Pause it. I think that maybe there might be people out there who don't. And we all know that we love Valentine's Day. It's the most important holiday. It's the most sacred holiday. It was invented
the most natural holiday.
Most natural holiday. Jesus invented it a long time ago. And so there might be people who don't have a sensual lover, and so they might want some help, like podcast help with that. And we help with every other thing. I don't see why. And it can be completely platonic. You know what I mean? Like a platonic sensual.
I do like this, though, Griffin, because in the past we've helped people find love.
Yeah.
And what if we just cut out the middleman, which is us, and we just were like, hey, we're here for love.
Well, I love my wife very, very much. I would never. There will be no dalliances today. Thank you.
Yes.
But we can. But it's like a make pretend.
And listen, here's what I'll do. And gosh darn it, we done missed it. This is, I don't know, January or February or whatever day it is. When you listen to this, it's not Valentine's Day. But if you want to tell people that I was your Valentine, you can.
No, that's too far. That's too far.
That's too far?
Yes, this episode is you would say the episode is.
Oh, the episode is okay. Yeah, you're right. Hey, don't lie.
Yeah.
This episode is your Valentine.
Okay. Justin, you want to get a hand on this ball, or are you going to sit this one out, you think?
I don't know where the ball is, guys. It's confusing enough that Travis is committing adultery. And
No, I'm letting people lie about me committing adultery.
No, we don't even do that. The podcast episode is your sensual friend for today, the most sacred of all the high holy days.
Griffin, here's my question, because the word could mean many different things, but when you say the episode is your Valentine, do you mean like we're walking around the classroom and we're putting this on the envelope you've taped to the front of your desk, or this is the podcast is putting a note in the envelope taped to the front of your desk?
You love the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the end of the sentence. That's the end of the thought.
You love the podcast. Now the podcast loves you.
You now love the podcast.
Oh, finally. It's reciprocated.
It's
the podcast loves you.
Okay, are you right? I'm paused. I have these 2 Ferrero Rochers where my nipples are.
The podcast nipples.
Yeah, and then I'm sitting on a bed of poetry. The episode's sitting on a bed of poetry it wrote for you. Yeah, and it's getting the chocolate everywhere. Streaks of it.
No, wait. You said pretty plainly that the chocolate was on your Griffin McElroy's
I did a
nipples.
tumble. I did a tumble into the papers.
That does sound like something I would see on Tumblr. That's fair.
Come on!
No, but Griffin, you're saying are you personifying?
You offered your own body up for chocolate delivery.
I was wearing a suit with little Velcro Ferrero Rochers all over it, and you
like
have
a mocap,
and then you have to like mocap balls, and then for Valentine's Day as a special treat, you get to run around try and grab them off me. But I did a tumble into the poetry that the podcast made.
No, but you're still saying you, Griffin. I thought the podcast was the Valentine.
Yeah.
But you're saying you are covered in chocolate.
The podcast is the one seducing you on the bed of poetry. I'm also there wearing a suit of Ferrero Rochers in case you get peckish.
So you're just the caterer?
Completely platonic body food.
I'm wearing clothes under the Ferrero Rochers.
Okay.
For me, it's a fun game where I see if I can, because after 5 minutes, I get to keep all the Ferrero Rochers that you didn't grab off them.
It's kind of like a big game of Capture the Flag.
It's like Capture the Flag, but it's all of me hazelnut chocolates.
Hey, welcome to Wild and Crazy Kids. This week you got a special game. You're going to grab those chocolate off those people, and if they don't, they eat them.
I don't see what the fucking confusion is. We do this every fucking year.
Start the metaphor over.
Was that a
Start the metaphor over and don't involve your corporeal form in it.
Okay.
Yeah, see if you can do this.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Brother, Me, etc. And then Griffin says,
this is podcast. I love you. Grab this candy.
Where's the candy? Wait. Where's the candy?
The podcast that is this one has candy all over its suit, wearing it like a mocap. Are you eating? Who is eating what right now? Who's eating Gilbert grapes right now?
I'm eating up this delicious description you're giving out.
Yeah, of a sentient podcast that's down for love.
Well, nobody's gonna love this thing now because you guys have. You guys have fucking.
Oh, Griffin, you put chocolate on your own nipples. Oh.
Griffin, could you describe the podcast?
You didn't let me finish that part. I have it on my nipples, but then it's everywhere else too.
No, you finished it. That part was completed.
With that, then?
Here comes the poetry pile. I jump in. I get all my chocolate streaks everywhere.
No, you can't be there. I'm sorry, Griffin. You are not allowed to see whatever Valentine happens between the episode and the listener.
You recorded the episode.
Let me stop.
You left the episode.
Okay. But let's hold on. And here's the next part. And then I see you approaching the podcast episode. I take off a few Ferreros and throw them in your direction just because I've had a big round. Well, let's stop. Shut up. And then I walk meekly backwards out of the room. And then whatever you do with podcast at that point is up to you, God, and podcast and the Ferrero Rochers that I
That's
left behind.
better?
That was much better. Here's the two issues
I wouldn't
that I
say
still
much,
have.
Justin. That was very generous.
Somewhat better. Here's the two issues that I still have with this.
Okay.
One, you're technically stripping because you are removing layers.
I got clothes on underneath the Ferrero Rochers.
I know, but it's a long con kind of strip. But it is.
No,
stripping.
I disagree with you on that point, Justin, because when I see someone take their jacket off, I'm not like, whoa, NSFW.
Yeah.
Depends on how they take it off, though.
Oh,
the way I
true.
take off a jacket.
When podcast takes his jacket off, it does it the cool, like backwards Jeb Bartlett.
Yeah, there you go. And the other thing I had was that you fed people chocolate off your body.
Nope.
And that's another one that's got a little bit charged.
No.
I think
Gave it to him.
Charged.
Gave it
What?
to him.
And if I remember correctly, flung it at them.
One of two things happened.
Yeah.
Either you threw your body chocolate on the dirty floor,
Yeah.
or you fed it lovingly to them. Which of those two options?
You're saying,
oh,
okay. And you hear that, audience? Justin says you all can't catch good. Interesting.
Wait, did you throw it like a Benihana chef and they caught it in their mouth?
Or with their fucking hands.
Gross. Then they're going to get chocolate all over their hands before reading the poetry.
The body impact when I dive into the poetry pile makes the foil come off and streaks the chocolate. I don't see. Why are you guys wrestling? It's been 9 fucking minutes.
You're the one wrestling with the poetry.
Okay. I just want to suggest start over.
Okay.
All right. God, heaven.
Hey, it's my brother May podcast, killing it year in, year out. This time, Griffin's going to say something.
So Valentine's Day is upon us, and we would like you to make love to the podcast. And by make love, I mean it in the literal sense and not in the coital sense. You and the podcast there was no love before, but now there will be love with you and this inanimate podcast. To help set the scene, I will appear in the room. Shush. The podcast will also be there. You will be there. I have a suit of Ferrero Rochers if you get peckish. And also, I have wine balloons. Do you want one?
Wait, where are they?
I have 12 wine balloons hidden all around the room.
Did you say hidden? Why are they hidden?
Why are they hidden?
Why would you hide them?
Fucking
Because
Easter Bunny?
It's not a fun surprise if you know where they are. I have a suit of Ferrero Rochers over my clothes. You will not come at me with your mouth open. I will hand them to you. You will take them with your hands, unwrap them, and eat them. Sometimes I will jump in the poetry pile. Sometimes there's a wine balloon in there too, and I make a terrible, terrible mess. But then when it's time for you and the podcast to consummate it, I'm going to back out of the room meekly. I will no longer be present.
Here's what I want to go back to the things that I hate. One of the main ones is that you've locked someone in a room with a podcast that they may not even be in. Okay, you're right.
He didn't say lock the door. He just said he was going to leave them to whatever
Yeah.
they
But
get up
the
to.
implication is clearly that they're going to do it, this person in the podcast. And can we make clear that it's an episode of a podcast?
It's not the whole podcast.
It's not the whole podcast. That's semantics, because we've done some things on this podcast, broadly speaking, that no one would love.
We got unfuckable eps.
I just want to go back also to the wine. I feel like a wine balloon popping over a pile of poetry
is the sexiest thing you've ever heard.
It's someone's fetish, and
don't forget about the
them.
chocolate streaks from my suit.
Yeah. Now, is it red wine or white?
Of course, it's red wine. It's Valentine's Day.
It's popping on the rose thorns. I've sprinkled thorns all over the bed.
You're
That's
not there.
romantic.
You're not
Jesse
there.
Thorne, Teresa Thorne, they're all on the bed,
They're all there.
sprinkled
Now,
lovingly.
I will say, I realized in Griffin's 18th take at this that while Justin and I have been upset at it, this idea of a holiday concierge is basically what Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny are. They come in, they provide you all the stuff, and then they leave and let you get down to it.
Yeah, there needs to be one of those for Valentine's Day. Cupid, what's our first question?
One more try.
There's no way we can do this.
This is my brother.
Griffin is a winged cherub.
This is my brother of a show.
I feel like
This
we
is
need
a brother of an episode.
Yeah, we need indices, like indices A before I even start going. I'm wearing clothes fully, and there's no question about that. Over the clothes, I have stuck mini Ferrero Rochers. There are 12
can you
wine-
edit this to be sequentially first?
Yes.
I want this to be the first thing people hear. Okay.
There are 12 wine balloons hidden throughout the room. If you are hungry, there's the Rochers. If you are thirsty, there is wine. The only other object in the room is the podcast episode that this is.
What about the poetry pile?
The poetry pile is also there. Is the third, fourth.
Could we also include like a button on the wall, like in an escape room? Like, hey, if at any time you want me to unlock the door, just hit this button.
If it gets too wet and wild in there, here's the button that you press. It's over the poetry pile, and you're going to have to sort of scramble around in there. It's rough terrain.
To find the flag in the poetry pile.
I'm going to count to 30 and leave. If you can find all the wine balloons before then, you get $10,000 furnished by San Pellegrino.
And a trip to space camp.
I'm so glad we got a sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got a sponsor for this. I want to welcome San Pellegrino to sponsor the show.
You also get a booth at the Food and Wine Festival, and you don't even have to know what to do with that.
I'm worried that including a sponsor is going to make this holiday too commercial.
Yeah, probably.
I worry. Let's switch it for BK Nights. What are they doing?
Oh, yeah. Maybe a Casio keyboard in there?
Sure.
So,
okay. I think that's got it. I think what I love about this, Griffin, is here's a quick list.
Yeah.
Bullet pointed.
Yeah.
One is I think that you have not included yourself physically in it. You've much more resigned yourself to a Jeff Probst role.
Yeah.
Or Chris Harrison role, like who is clearly on the periphery. And I feel like it's kind of like those cats also, where it's like clearly on the periphery, but the implication is always that if they decided to compete, they would win.
They would beat ass, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. And I think it's also like a very romantic, loving environment that you've created for the podcast episode and the listener.
Yeah, and fun too. Fun. Because you got to find the balloons. And poetry can be fun for some people.
Yeah, maybe the poet, but nobody else.